Oh, Resident Evil 4 is the central point?
I guess so.
That's kind of lame.
No, but we need to see Leon.
I love Resident Evil 4, but I've said it a million times by now, I'm just repeating myself, but like, it's aged spectacularly. It did not need a remake.
Yeah, they said that they're gonna be elaborating more on the on stuff they've already announced, and I guess also mainly Resident Evil 4. So I guess we'll spend like 20 minutes counting Leon's spores.
It's probably going to be a fair bit of that. To be fair, like if they reveal like, oh, we've changed almost nothing and it plays the same way, but it's prettier, I will be happy with that. I don't know,
I mean, it didn't
seem
seem like Resident Evil 4.
I hate to be that.
Like a big, like I don't think it needed mechanical changes. At least I haven't heard people say that.
Well, the thing is, it's a third-person game with tank controls, right?
Ah.
So, what I was gonna say is, like, I hate to be that guy, but, like, Resident Evil 4 had some real jank to it that I thought really improved the game and made it feel more difficult, yes, but also made it feel more, like, impressive when you did pull off stuff and you... Now I'm just being that guy. What's the word for it? It felt like even, like, the controls were awkward, but once you got used to them, it felt like you could do more with them than you would in a game that controls a little more intuitively, right?
Yeah, it was like the old parkour mechanic in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I honestly, this is so bizarre of a thing to ask for because the game's supposed to come out this month, but I'd really like to see the fucking release date for the Darkstalkers collection. That'd be brilliant.
So sometime this month.
Yeah. The game's gonna release as a fucking surprise. They're gonna announce they released it yesterday and just nobody noticed.
Yeah. I like how they got all of these people. I think they were showing off the people who had stuff to do with the Darkstalkers collection. And they were like, man, I love Street Fighter.
Yep.
All of them.
Yep. Okay, my bet, no Street Fighter, because the Street Fighter account on Twitter said, hey, it's going to be radio silence for a little bit. We recognize that our load has been blown a bit early, so we're kind of revising things here, so don't expect anything anytime soon.
They're cutting out half the roster.
Yeah,
just to piss people off.
Yeah, just for a twist. It's a swerve.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they showed shadows for a lot of characters that aren't going to be getting anything today. I fucking saw the shadow of Dante there, and I guarantee you we're not getting Devil May Cry 6 this soon.
I mean, the best part is it was Devil May Cry like 3 or 2 Dante. I recognized the silhouette of the promotional image.
No, that was Devil May Cry 5 Dante.
The hair wasn't untidy enough.
Let's begin.
Yeah, but he had the pose right. 4 and 3 Dante's never posed that way.
Hello everyone.
Ah, okay.
I'm Ryozo Tsujimoto, producer of the Monster Hunter series.
I'm expecting, alongside Resident Evil 4, I'm expecting a lot of Monster Hunter, maybe the announcement of a new, like, Phoenix Wright collection, but mostly it's going to be Resident Evil and Monster Hunter.
They're also probably going to talk about their Death Stranding game.
Let's take a look.
Oh, right, I forgot that existed. What the fuck?
I only know that it exists because they showed it was one of the trailers that they had on loop.
Honestly, if you hadn't told me that they weren't going to be announcing anything new today, like, I would have predicted Dragon's Dogma 2, honestly. But probably not if they don't want this to be a big show today, then probably no Dragon's Dogma 2, because that's a pretty big announcement.
They'll announce Dragon's Dogma in Monster Hunter.
Yeah!
You're welcome, citizen.
I'm fairly certain that already exists, but yeah. Oh man, come to think of it, Dragon's Dogma 1 was made before Capcom was, like, hardcore on there. All of our games need to cross over with our other game streak, weren't they?
I think so.
So if they did do a Dragon's Dogma 2, they'd have to raise the question of like, okay, how do we fit some Street Fighter stuff in here, boy?
One of the rare unlockable moves is the Shangoku Satsu.
Yeah. It's probably just gonna be something simple as dress your pawn up as Ryu. Here's a bow that vaguely has the aesthetics of Devil May Cry. It kind of looks like a weapon Dante would use.
Yeah.
As opposed to Monster Hunter, which was just like, fuck it, here's Dante's pistols. Sure.
Yeah, but Monster Hunter is like, you want to be Akuma riding Amaterasu? Sure, fuck it, go ahead.
Yeah. Don't worry,
But only,
Akuma
but only if you're on
will
PC
save the day.
or Switch. But only if you're on PC or Switch.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fuck you.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Boy, this sure is Monster Hunter.
Yes. There's a lot of monsters and hunting.
Of all the fucking shows for soon to skip, you know?
Yeah. Where's the fucking Kuluyaku? When do we bird up?
Jungle.
Oh, you're a couple of seconds ahead of me. Because as you know, I am closer to Jeff Keighley, but you are closer to Japan.
That is true.
In the second generation of Monster Hunter games.
Man, with the Jeff Hardy on the news thing, I thought you were going to say, like, as you know, you're closer to Jeff Hardy, and that's why you get to see more games.
And new players are sure to enjoy. And of course,
Yeah,
updated the jungle with
the thing that happened with Jeff Hardy was just so surprising. I never would have guessed that would happen.
Yeah.
You know?
I want him to turn around. I mean, if Scott Hall and Jake Roberts could turn their lives around, then anyone could. At the same time,
I mean, yeah.
like Scott Hall and Jake both knew they were in bad positions. Jeff seems to like that he's a fucked up drug addict.
Yeah, that's the thing for me too, is that like I want him to turn around because I like Jeff Hardy. Like I like it sounds bad, but like, you know, I appreciate that he sacrifices his body even though I don't agree with it. But at the same time, like it really feels like he just doesn't want to be better. So
yeah,
that's the point. That's the point. I can't really feel as bad for him as I otherwise could.
Yeah,
because it doesn't seem like he's actually trying to improve himself.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, even for like the jump off of tall things spot, like I don't have a problem necessarily with it on its own. It's the fact that Jeff did it at every pay-per-view and sometimes just on TV.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's the frequency.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm forgetting his name. Shit. Shane. Shane did it better because he couldn't wrestle, so he was just like, all right, I'm gonna show up like once every five pay-per-views, and then I'm gonna jump off of something and nearly die.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave.
There's one more thing I want to share with
I mean, like, and Jeff didn't invent the crazy dive either. Of course, everyone mentions Jimmy Snuka, and for good reason. That was the only thing he did besides killing someone that's worthwhile in the news. But but like shortly after that, only a few years after that, a spot that everyone forgets now because it's kind of been blown over by everything else. Fucking Hulk Hogan superplexing Big Boss Man off the top of the cage. No one talks about that anymore because there's been so many moments since then that make it look tiny. But you know, even back then, it was Hulk Hogan and Big Boss Man doing a big dive spot.
Yeah. I'm surprised Hogan's like bones just didn't implode there.
He had 10 more years of leg drops before his bones would start imploding.
A free demo for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is coming to both Nintendo Switch.
The crazy thing, of course, is Boss Man of being as big of a bastard as he was, and still being like, "Oh yeah, Hogan, I'll take the bump."
You'll be able to take on Astalos.
I mean, there's more cushion.
The new Switch skill swap system, as well as new
Well, even though that is true, there's also more weight.
We'll have a few tutorial
Yes, there is also more pain. Yes.
That's more weight for his organs and bones to get crushed under.
ready to take on other monsters in the demo to test your skills. For veteran hunters, an advanced quest will also be available where you can take on an extra
So
challenging
here's the only
version
thing
of
I know about
flagship
this game.
monster, Malzeno.
Apparently, people are thirsty for like
The demo
the
supports
House
multiplayer
Dragon girls
for
who are
up
like
to 4
the main
players,
quest
and
givers
there's
of the
no
game
limit
Yeah, of
for some
course.
reason.
times you can attempt quests.
Yeah, and the big meme of the game is whether or not they lay eggs.
You can download it from the Nintendo eShop and Steam store page. Also, we would like for you to keep 2.
Well, you know, technically speaking, humans also have egg cells, so...
So you will be able to enjoy
Yeah,
all
it's just not like the hard shelled eggs that
Yeah.
people are talking about. I don't think.
Yeah. Like, this is the thing, like... I'm sure this is all very exciting for Monster Hunter guys, but if you ever see what Max does, Maximilian Dude does, whenever there's a part of the presentation that he doesn't care about, he just gets up and starts spinning chairs.
Yeah,
Like,
this is our audio equivalent of spinning chairs.
yeah, just talk about wrestling.
Yeah, talk about wrestling or other like dumb shit. I was going to bring up how I don't know if you've heard of this, but apparently platypuses are supposed to glow in the dark for some reason.
People now see, platypi are like the animal equivalent of what is called the Mike Tyson effect. You ever heard of the Mike Tyson effect?
No.
When there are enough strange stories about a person that are true, you can start to make up absolutely insane rumors about that celebrity and people will believe them right off the bat.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There were so many strange stories about Mike Tyson in the 90s and early 2000s that it got to be that you could say any shit about Mike Tyson and people will believe you just out of hand. The platypus is getting to that same space, but for animals instead of celebrities.
Yeah.
Update is planned for a fall 2022 release.
I mean, last time before this that I heard
Oh my
anything
God.
weird, it was just that they like secret milk. Yeah.
I just had an amazing idea. So odds are the DLC for Street Fighter 6 is pretty quickly going to turn its focus to, like, centering on, well, not centering on, excuse me, but featuring heavily the Four Kings, right? Because the Four Kings are definitely the biggest absence from the roster right now. Okay, so Balrog needs to continue his, like, redemption arc that Ed started. Have it show, not only is Balrog a man of peace now, Balrog now also raises pigeons.
He gets projectiles.
Oh
Yeah, the
no!
pigeons fly out and hit you.
Oh, the Shiba Inu costume for the dog is just named Loyal Dog. That's sad.
We're planning on keeping you updated with more information soon.
I want to be reminded of Hachi.
Yeah, I was about to say, just call your fucking, I forgot what the name is for the dogs is, but just call them fucking Hachi.
Hachiko, more properly.
Yeah.
Capcom Spotlight Corner. Time for all the bullshit we didn't want to give more than a minute to. Street Fighter 6, Fighting Ground, Battle Hub. Oh, it's not even going to be information. It's just reminding you that Street Fighter 6 exists.
Coming soon. The next
I mean, we can talk information because I read a Japanese interview with the designers.
Oh, what is it?
World Tour. It's not just Metro City. They can't talk about shit. Like basically, the guy was too excited. One of the designers was too excited and accidentally nearly said too much. But he was like, "There's a reason we call it World Tour."
I was
You
about
know?
to say, like, it can't just be Metro City when the title is World.
What awaits you in this game?
Yeah.
Let's
But
call into question, like,
Um,
where would be the next priority? I have to assume somewhere, they'll go somewhere in Japan, because Street Fighter is still, you know, a Japanese
Yes.
franchise.
Suzaku Castle, which has been turned into Akumart.
That would be awesome, actually. I mean, like, because we've seen that, have you seen the screenshots people have taken and figured out, actually, there are several spots in Metro City in World Tour that are just straight up past stages from Street Fighter?
Arcade era are included in one package.
Not those ones, but I did see the pictures of how there may be playable versions of the older games in sticks for some reason.
That would be nuts if that was the case. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the arcade,
What is it?
like the arcade has it has machines for a lot of old games, and then you can seemingly walk up there too.
That would be awesome. I just want to get it in real quick. Like, just the ones I saw. You remember the basketball court stage from Third Strike where you do the parry practice?
Yes.
Luke walks by that at one point. You can see in
Is the Bruce store still up?
Capcom Arcade.
I don't know. I didn't get to see that. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. Saturday Night Slam Masters and a few other games are part of the Capcom Arcade Collection. Honestly, I feel like I need to try Saturday Night Slam Masters at some point anyways. I'll probably look into that, yeah.
I played the SNES version. It was alright.
Alright.
I played both that one and the sequel.
Alright. Oh, rewind! That's a feature we need to see more in the arcade ports.
Yeah.
All players will receive Sun for free when downloading the
But
base game.
either which way, yeah.
The bundle
Like, you can see in the distance the building that's being built. You remember the stage in Street Fighter 4 where you're fighting on the girder as there's a building being constructed behind you?
Yes. The one with Hugo.
Yep, you can see that in the background. You can see the massive statue of Hagar.
World Warrior. Free
Yeah.
for a limited time. We hope you try out the Capcom Arcade Stadium as well.
So I have to wonder, they're probably going to take you to places where there's been a lot of stages and you can see the stages, right?
Next up is
Yeah, probably.
And Suzaku
They
Castle
also
will
said
be
that they would.
brilliant for it.
Yeah. They also did say that they wanted to. One of the big focus for this game was that they wanted to ensure that there is single player content.
Yeah.
So it's basically they've been working on 3 games at once. Is
Yeah.
how they put it.
Like, Street Fighter 6 as a whole reads so far as, we know Street Fighter 5 was a fuck-up.
Yeah, VR story. Like, genuinely.
Yeah, it's a day one buy for me, definitely. It is smelling good. What's in the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into whether or not, like, here's the thing. The Persona thing only being on PS5, even though, like, none of those games shouldn't run on the PS4. That's made me wary of exactly how they advertise it, and I don't remember if the Street Fighter 6 advertisement had a PS4 logo at the end. So if it's coming out for only PS5, then I will not buy it just because I can't fucking play it. But otherwise I will.
Fascinating. Humans dread the other. You seek to evolve, yet you do not want to change.
This looks very Destiny adjacent, but I gotta say, I appreciate that rather than putting it in generic space like every other Destiny ripoff has, they decided, what if you're playing sci-fi warriors, but you're in a modern-day city and the enemies are dinosaurs?
We're always reaching for
It feels more like they tried merging a Destiny and whatchamacallit, or Defense Force.
You know, I was about to say this looks Earth Defense Force-esque.
variable shall become fixed. Humans, fight and die for me.
Oh my god, was that just a black hole pouring out millions of compies?
I call your attention
I think so.
to the unstoppable
This looks like the world's highest budget B movie ever. Oh my god, it's a dinosaur tornado!
calculated at 8.7%. You must fight harder than ever.
This is 100% built to be a high budget B movie.
That experiment is called for. You will now witness a small fragment of the war game.
I was going to shout out the people who made Sharknado, but I forgot their name.
Someone watched Sharknado and went, you know what? Sharks are for pussies. And then they saw Earth Defense Force and they're like, you know what? Giant bugs are also for pussies. You know what's not for pussies? Dinosaurs.
We hope you enjoyed the trailer. Now, I will get into more detail about the game. Developed by Ivius Corporation, Leviathan is a next-gen AI that guides players throughout.
Is it normal that like we're doing this thing, and my brain was just but it just went, okay, he's gonna start sentence mixing now. Like they're just gonna call it together, so he says dumb shit.
Unleashing hordes of dinosaurs. Players will battle these dinosaurs after
Like, I gotta be honest, I wasn't super in on this.
Why is Leviathan?
But, like, the more I just see increasingly delightfully absurd images of just, like, a rolling sea of velociraptors, the more I'm like, okay, this is so stupid, I'm in. You know?
Let me provide a brief
I guess I don't know. I don't like dinosaurs. So
I'm not a huge dinosaur person either, but it's just, I just love the farcical absurdity, you know?
Teams must follow
Yeah.
Leviathan's directives and complete the mission before their rivals to win. These directives will feature a dynamic mix of missions. In fact, we just saw some in the latest trailer. There's Dinosaur Call, where
Like, the more I look at this, it's like,
dinosaur. In VTOL defense,
is this supposed to be like some time traveling thing?
dinosaur on
We need to send future warriors to save the present from the past.
asset to its destination.
No, it's supposed to be a thing that they like someone fucked up and they brought dinosaurs back, but it worked too good, and now people like humanity is nearly dead. So whoever's left has to kill dinosaurs that are coming from a time portal or whatever.
And terrifying creature known as a Neo-Tyrannosaurus. While there are situations where you directly engage enemy players,
Okay,
there are other times where you band together with rivals.
how much do you
to
bet
a major foe.
the end twist of this game is that it's secretly a sequel to, oh shit, what's it called? The Dinosaur Resident Evil.
Vanquish?
The experience
Or the-
will be different
Oh,
every
Dino
time you
Crisis?
play, even
Yeah.
with familiar surroundings and objectives. By playing Dino Survival, you will unlock story sequences.
I don't know because I don't know anything about Dino Crisis.
To increase your player and exosuit levels. We'll provide more details about this at a later date.
This game demands
Now that we've detailed
crossovers with other
Dino
Capcom
Survival
games.
We showed 2 new exosuits.
I want them to just add Ryu, and you can Tatsu thousands of Velociraptors.
But at that point, that's just a Warriors game, though.
Yeah,
That's just a crowd fighter.
I'm just imagining. Okay, Zangief pile driving a T-Rex,
So look forward to upcoming announcements.
and the T-Rex is going like, "Oh shit, this sucks."
But no, but they can do that because that would require them to actually acknowledge that they ever detect Sengoku Basara. To even be like, hey, we can do crowd fighter shit in this game.
We're conducting a closed network test for Exoprimal.
Obviously that the IP is tainted. We can't use it at all. Not even part of it.
Help us test the game's online infrastructure and make improvements ahead.
Okay, put Phoenix Wright in the dinosaur game.
Sign up to participate today.
But he's just like a gigantic torso,
Will allow you to experience dinosaurs
Why?
like in the old Mugens.
next year. We look
Oh.
forward to having you join in. That's all for today. We plan to release Exoprimal in 2023. Until then, keep an eye on our website and social media. Thank you for watching.
What?
Next, we have a message
What?
about Dragon's Dogma.
Oh.
which recently celebrated its 10th anniversary.
Oh, it's a remaster.
I mean, that's better than nothing.
Wasn't it remastered once already,
this is-
though?
I don't know. But hey, buy Dragon's Dogma 1 for the 3rd time, and then maybe you'll get 2 eventually.
Here I am, Hideaki Itsuno, here to remind everyone I do make games other than Devil May Cry.
We celebrated the 10th anniversary of Dragon's
But it's
Dogma.
very rarely.
Thanks to all of you for joining us in this celebration. The world.
Oh boy, you definitely want to see the other stuff he made. Power Stone. Capcom's just gonna... No, it didn't happen.
Games such as Dragon's Dogma and the Dark Arisen expansion.
Shit, that is how it tracks for Itsuno, right? He went from Street Fighter Alpha to Power Stone to Devil May Cry to Dragon's Dogma, right?
We'll be releasing a video.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't make the first Devil May Cry, that was Kamiya, but Kamiya's not with Capcom anymore.
And what Dragon's Dogma came to be. So whether you're a long
I mean, Alpha was good.
or just
Yeah, Alpha's definitely good. Never tried Power Stone, only ever heard good things.
you.
Of course, I adore Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5, which are the ones that Itsuno got to fully make. A bunch of updates.
And now we have a bunch of updates from the Resident Evil franchise.
Why is he standing like a...
Hello everyone. I'm Tsuyoshi Konda.
Mr. Kondo
He's
there
gonna-
was...
Village. Thanks to
Konda's gonna rip off his face, and Wesker will be under it.
wide. Everyone on the team is incredibly happy to see
Yes.
people enjoy the game.
Well, the trouble is, he can't, because Wesker's black now.
Resident Evil series continues to bring fun
Since when?
experiences to people
Have you not heard about this? The Netflix
No.
Resident Evil series is supposed to be canon. It's canon, and it shows it's the apocalypse. Something wiped out the world. This, by the way, is definitely not going to be canon in a few years. And Wesker came back from the dead, and now he's black because he's played by Lance Reddick.
It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
Okay, so
Yeah, go ahead.
it's a Resident Evil 8 DLC where you play as Rose, and they confirmed it's 16 years later, so Rose is 17. Chris is somewhere in his 50s.
Chris doesn't know what I can do.
I hope one of the scenes in this game is just like 60-year-old Chris Redfield in a wheelchair, punching a boulder and he's breaking.
Yeah.
She's near death. Ew, something just moved on her hand. Shut up.
So, yeah, it should go without saying, given that this entire trailer is by nature Resident Evil 8 spoilers. But Rose's whole gimmick is she's got the biohazard goo powers, because when she was a wee little baby, the villains of Resident Evil 8 killed her and dissected her, and then Ethan put her back together using the bio goo, so now she has bio goo powers.
Yeah, you see, Capcom.
Damn it, the shopkeep's the bad guy. I was really hoping they wouldn't make shopkeep be fat evil. That sucks.
Yeah.
The shopkeep was like one of the best parts of Resident Evil 8.
You know, Konami refuses to make a new Silent Hill, so Capcom's here to do it for them.
What the fuck? Okay, you can now play as Dimitrescu. What?
Sure.
I guess that was inevitable, but that would be rather awkward. She can't fit through most doorways. Do you have to crouch to go through a normal doorway as her?
Maybe.
Third person Resident Evil 8. Okay, I'm in. Okay, that's all I needed to hear. I know that seems stupid, but this is actually a game selling feature.
No, I get it. I prefer, like it. I did, you know, I'd be more interested in playing the game like this too.
Resident Evil 8 is adding third person and it's coming with reverse. Resident Evil 8 with third person and Mercenaries mode featuring playable Heisenberg and Dimitrescu. I'm in.
Yeah. Can Heisen Dante like go into Royal Guard?
No, but I did see that apparently he has a special ability that you can flip the bird at enemies and make them explode. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
He's not Heisen Dante. He's Stone Cold.
Three major features. First, the third-person mode. Many people asked for this, and we were able to add it into the game.
The notoriously faceless Ethan, third person.
Players that have already experienced Ethan's journey can enjoy the new perspective.
Oh god, are people just gonna be more turned on by the vampire chicks now that you can actually see them bite him in third person?
Arcade-style action game where focus
Maybe.
is put on the exhilarating feeling of defeating relentless hordes of enemies. New stages are included, as well as additional playable characters.
Although, like one of the things that I still don't like about Village is how the main enemies are werewolves, but they just look like zombies still.
I can get that, but for my part, I see where it's clearly supposed to be a homage to Resident Evil 4, so them being closer to the Ganados doesn't bother me, you know?
Let me introduce just a bit of this story.
Yeah, it just feels a bit like a cop-out to me, because it's like, hey, we're gonna go with like classic horror monsters that aren't zombies, and then like the vampires just look like normal people, and the werewolves just look like zombies again.
I mean, vampires most of the time look like normal people, unless we're talking Nosferatu.
Yeah, I'm fine with them. Like I don't mind the vampires looking like that.
Yeah.
I just wish the werewolves actually like got a fucking snout before they turned into just a dire wolf, you know?
I think there is supposed to be differing stages of werewolf, but I think that depends on where you are in the game or something like that.
Shadows of Rose is set completely in a third
I don't remember like the humanoid ones having snouts. I know that so they can turn into dire wolves.
What is Resident Evil's new thing of trying to have weird little side projects that are Silent Hill adjacent?
How will Rose find freedom from
But Konami is not doing anything with the IP, so who cares?
As Soon says that Christoph Gans accidentally leaked that yes, they are working on multiple Silent Hill games right now.
includes all 3 of the
Yeah,
Adventure
that's we
Edition.
spent an hour just
In addition,
listing off
Resident Evil
all of the games they're
4
working on.
Right, you did do that, and I even reacted to it, and yet I somehow forgot it nonetheless. I'm a fool.
The release date is planned for October 28th, 2022. Resident Evil.
Oh my god,
Like,
Playable
this-
Nemesis looks hilarious.
On the same date, October
Oh.
28th, 2022.
That game may be
Oh,
crap,
yeah.
but honestly, I'm interested in trying it just for the absurdity of playing around as Nemesis and pulling a rocket launcher out of your ass and then stuffing it back in when you're done.
Also, as
Why not?
already
There's
announced,
space.
we are working on making the main story of Village available on Mac, so that even more people.
That's why Nemesis is so stiff all the time.
Yeah.
In addition, the main story
If you tried moving more loosely, it would fall out.
Heh.
We're working hard on bringing you the ultimate immersive experience.
No, holding a pistol and a shotgun!
in Resident Evil.
That definitely doesn't break the game's balance.
So look forward to future announcements.
Nah, it's fine.
Kinda takes the horror out of Resident Evil when you just come out fucking dual-wielding a shotgun and an assault rifle, spraying lead in various directions.
Alright, 3. Okay, that's the release thing. I thought this was like segueing into another trailer.
Are they just gonna repeat the RE4 trailer we got at State of Play?
Maybe. It seems like it.
So here's the thing with Resident Evil 4, right? It's like...
Yeah.
It's got some fantastic horror scenes at some points, but for the most part it is not a very scary game. And it's trying to be in the spirit of RE1, 2, and 3 remakes, all of which are much more horrific and scary than vanilla RE4 is.
Are you telling me that being called pendejo by zombies is not scary?
The Ganados cursing at you is actually not that goofy. Mostly because they sound genuinely pissed at you.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's going to be some outrage over the fact that Ada isn't wearing her long dress, isn't there?
I mean, probably, but who cares?
That's true. There wasn't as much outrage over Cammy as I expected. Mostly because anyone can see Chun-Li's wearing very, very white, tight pants in those trailers, so Cammy's probably gonna be the same.
And not only that, but I also saw a lot of people just like making fun of the people who were complaining about Cammy wearing pants now.
Yeah, it was just completely predictable. Yeah, that's the State of Play trailer for RE4. We're probably gonna get more in a second, though.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time.
Okay, I'm going to say something that is going to sound weird and perverted.
It has to.
And I swear it's not a sex thing. But for the little bit we got to see of Ashley in the trailer, I pretty well don't recognize her without the, like, ludicrous assets, right?
Of Resident Evil 4. And I'm
Yeah.
Yoshiaki Hirabayashi, producer of Resident Evil 4. This
It's kind of like how when you
Boy,
look back at versions
that-
of Chris Redfield, they're skinny. He doesn't look like Chris, you know?
Similar
Yeah.
to other titles in the series, we are carefully preserving
I'm just
the
like,
original
man,
title
could you pronounce those Japanese names any more American?
everyone to enjoy when
Yeah.
it launches in 2023. Today, we'll
Oh, we
Like
already need to see a bit
they're not
more.
doing a.
the game story.
Oh, right, nice. Like the announcer guy is not doing a bad job. It's just like weird sounding to me.
Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. The main character of the game, Leon S. Kennedy, survived.
It is weird that it looks like we're actually going to get to see Leon get told by the President of the United States, Leon, I need you to go save my daughter, and don't fuck her.
Village in Europe as part of a mission to rescue the
He'll walk up to Leon and grab his balls and then go, "You're a man."
Yeah.
Leon is much more mature and fearless due to his past experiences.
Ganados in HD will actually be cool. And you know what's going to be fucking weird now that I think about it?
The experience of being attacked
Yeah.
by whole
Ganados speaking Spanish in actual Spanish accents and not Mexican accents.
in order to
Yeah.
bring out the concept of terror.
Like, I've always pointed out, because it's so goddamn funny to me, Capcom, who ordinarily had issues with translation back in those days, finally got a perfect Spanish translation for RE4. Like, all the Spanish is great.
The over-the-shoulder
Problem fucking is, everybody's speaking with the wrong accent. It's a bunch of Mexicans in the center of rural Spain.
We want to nail
Nah, it's
the
fine.
feeling of loneliness and fear
They were
of
visiting.
knowing what lies ahead, even more so than the original.
This looks like it plays like RE2 and RE3
There will also
Remake,
be thrilling battles.
which, don't get me wrong, RE2 and RE3
People who
Remake
played the
are both
recent Resident
fantastic,
Evil 2 and Resident Evil
but they're
3
not very action-heavy games. RE4 very much is.
Look forward to future announcements.
I mean,
We'll have more
they
information
didn't
on
show off
game.
the most important part of our RE4
is being
though.
developed for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series
Bingo?
X, Series S, and
The
PC.
attaché case.
The attaché. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, the trouble is that every Resident Evil game now more or less has the attaché case. They just don't have as much shit to fit in it.
Everyone can enjoy. So please look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like, that should have been that should have been the entire B-roll for the trailer. Just like 12 minutes of the attaché
What do
case.
you think about the latest
No,
information?
have the developers actually be talking and showing intense gameplay, but the background, instead of being this, like, blue stage, like, background you see,
For those
it's
who
instead
can't remember
just
the
a attaché case being organized.
Yeah.
Poorly.
Yes. And then like before the end of the thing, like they just drag in like a picture, JPEG of Tiny Tim, and then there's hard cut to the stream being off.
Yeah. Looks like they're gonna do a Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil collection for PS5, so it's gonna be 7, 2, and 3. And
I
they
mean,
got
with
some
the-
bad rock
Yeah.
songs for each of them, I guess.
I suppose so, but yeah, like the thing I was going to point out is that like because of how they're trying to integrate the numbers in the newer games into the title, don't you think that someone will look at this and go, "Oh, that's the first Resident Evil"?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the GameCube, or not, was it the GameCube that it was remade on? I think it was.
Yeah.
I forget. Whatever. The HD remake that they did for Resident Evil 1 was good, but maybe do it again so you can release the first 3 games of the trilogy. You know?
Well, the mystifying thing is, they did remaster it again on PS4, and they went to a lot of trouble to add new features and shit. So, yes, it probably should have been a package deal of RE1, 2, 3, and 7, right?
Including support
Yeah.
for 4K, high frame rate, and ray tracing, as well as 3D audio for an even more immersive experience. These titles are available for
Part of the issue
PlayStation 5 and Xbox
with
Series
releasing
X
the remasters for all those games so soon
In addition,
is that
PlayStation 4
all 3 of those games were
players
amongst the
can
most
enjoy a
gorgeous
free
games
digital
of the
upgrade
previous
to the next
generation.
gen via the digital upgrade
So we
program
haven't yet got to the
available.
point where we can really upgrade past that
PC
without just
releases
overhauling the entire
available
game,
on
right?
the Same date.
Yeah.
For newcomers and veterans of survival horror alike, we hope you enjoyed the immersion these new versions offer.
There it was. Immersion.
Yeah. I can't believe Jack Baker really punched me in the face.
That's
I will
all
have my
for these
revenge.
announcements. Thank you.
That wraps up today's show. We hope you're
All right.
Yeah, that was pretty well. Hey, Resident Evil 8 with third person. Which, don't get me wrong, I like that, but that was otherwise just reminding people, hey, we are still working on things.
Yeah.
The one that gets advertised in the YouTube title is Resident Evil 4, a game they showed about, like, half a minute of extra footage more than State of Play did, and that was it.
No, it's fine. It'll get people watching, I guess. So yeah, I don't even know what we learned. We learned that Hulk Hogan just suplexed the big boss man off of the cage.
Yeah.
That was my favorite Capcom announcement. So yeah, I don't know. Do you want to like? I don't even know because I was like, should we do a wrap up? But we already did. Like,
Yeah, there's not really anything new. I mean, there was the Monster Hunter thing, but we don't even know if that was anything new. That might have been shown before, and we wouldn't know.
yeah,
We got to see more of Exoprimal, but Exoprimal is one of those ones that it's such an unknown quantity, and it looks relatively similar. Like, if they'd started off more with the absurdity of just like, oh, a tide of velociraptors coming out of a black hole, I think that would have immediately struck people. But first impressions count, and that game looked really generic at first impression. So
yeah.
I think that game's going to have to more likely save itself when some of the YouTubers and critics get their hands on it and start actually saying like, oh yeah, actually the game's really fun. Stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Resident Evil, that was mostly a big nothing. I mean, again, like, packaging together Resident Evil 7, 2, and 3 is a good deal for people who haven't got all 3 of them yet. But, like, I have 2 out of the 3 already, and I assume everyone else who likes Resident Evil has 1 or 2 of the 3 already as well.
Probably.
Maybe the 3D audio thing is bigger for people who actually have 3D audio setups. Oh, excuse me.
I don't know. I don't know because for the 3D audio thing, you also need to send in like a picture of your ear to that one Sony guy so you can jerk off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like honestly, yeah, that wasn't like. It's part of the thing of having to have a yearly show, while also still trying to cooperate with everyone else running their own shows, right?
Yeah.
Does Capcom really care more about Jeff Keighley than they do about Sony? Probably not.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so Sony did fund SF5, so
Like, Capcom's big ammo for this year, the huge reveals, were RE4 Remake, Street Fighter 6, both of which got dropped to State of Play. And, like, on top of that, who knows what else they could have? I still think there's a very good chance. Hang on, did they actually say anything for Dragon's Dogma? Besides just saying, hey, it's the 10th anniversary?
I'm not sure.
I think we both kind of tuned out there. We were talking about something else. It didn't look like they actually announced any games or anything. They were just saying, hey, it's Dragon's Dogma's 10th anniversary. Which, to be fair, if they do want to reveal Dragon's Dogma 2 later on this year, they probably would be good to remind people that the series exists.
Yeah, that is true. But then when would they announce it?
Difficult to say. They might have planned on announcing it sooner, but there could have been delays. After all, it's better to delay a game before it's announced rather than after.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, one has to assume Itsuno's not sitting on his ass just, twiddling his thumbs. Something's going on there, if it isn't going on with him making a new project. And given that they had Itsuno to come out and say, hey, look, Dragon's Dogma,
Yeah, Itsuno is secretly developing Devil May Cry 7. Not even 6, but 7. They're skipping 6. They're gonna be so good.
Oh boy.
I mean, like I say that. I mean, I like Devil May Cry 5, and the parts of 4 that I played.
Wait, hang on. I got caught up. Did you? I got caught up by something Pink said in the other tab. I'm sorry. Why are you saying that Itsuno sucks? Why do you hate him?
Oh no! I said that he's working on Devil May Cry 7.
Ah.
And that they're skipping 6 because 7 is gonna be that good.
Yeah. I almost think that at some point, like not so much nowadays, now that branding is such a focus, but I almost feel like at some point in the past they would have done that with like some kind of thing of like, it's because it's got 7 playable characters this time, baby.
I mean, Sega tried doing that with Yakuza.
Well, they did, but they didn't skip all the numbers before 5 to get there, or all the numbers before 4 to get there.
That's true.
It did make Yakuza 2 and 3 rather awkward in hindsight, though. Well, now Kiwami came out, so now Yakuza 2 actually does have 2 playable characters because there's stretches you can play as Majima. But it now makes Yakuza 3 look really awkward because it's And Yakuza 6 also look really awkward because both of them don't have player counts that match the player character counts that match the game's title. Come to think of it, there are more than 0 player characters in Yakuza 0 too. Why is Sega lying to us?
I don't know. The Yakuza 0 should have been just like one long movie.
Yeah. What you're suggesting is an anime movie, and they already do those for these franchises.
Not always. I mean, the only Yakuza movie there was the one by Mike. I think his name is the director.
Right, but I'm saying like Sengoku Basara or, however many other Japanese games do often get like animes thrown in there. Persona, too, the big one there.
I mean, those are the only ones that I can think of that get those.
Street Fighter's got several animated movie adaptations. That's where they got the
That's
Chun-Li.
true.
That's where they got the Chun-Li puffing out her cheeks face for Street Fighter 6. Boy, they're just making
Yeah, was
references
that
to everything,
like
aren't they?
so Kuma just like instead of doing the Ashura Senku normally, will he just like just run at you on his like tippy toes
The real question
like
is
in the movie?
if they want to keep going with
No,
references.
no. One of the DLCs is Savada.
Savada?
Wasn't that his name?
Oh, are you talking about the dude from Street Fighter the movie, the game?
Yes.
Oh, God. I would almost be interested because based on my memory of that game, he actually didn't look like a half bad character. What? Where is Shadaloo Thug?
Yes, where is not Tekken Force member
Yeah.
from also the movie, the game.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what his name was.
Remember
It was something like Blade.
Remember how Akuma wasn't even in the Street Fighter movie, but they put him in the game anyways? They just found some guy, some like dark complected Asian guy, and put a silly Akuma wig on him, and had him do the
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat mocap.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have Street Fighter without Akuma. Never mind Street Fighter 5, that doesn't count.
Yeah. Well, to be
Also,
fair,
never mind Street Fighter 1. Yeah?
Yeah, I was about to say, Street Fighter 1's the only one that never had him, but if we want to talk about Street Fighter games that launched without him, he wasn't in 3 from launch. He wasn't in Alpha from launch, was he? No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't. He hasn't been. I don't think he was in any Street Fighter game. No, he was in 4.
He was in 4 at launch.
Yeah, and 4. I think 4 is the only one because he wasn't in 2 at launch. He wasn't in 3 at launch. He wasn't in Alpha at launch. He wasn't in EX at launch.
We'll see about 6.
Yeah, we'll see about 6. And did I say 5 already?
Yeah, you said 5.
But he wasn't in. Okay.
Yeah. A thought just occurred to me. Maximilian said that he doesn't think that Akuma will be in at launch because he's a guaranteed DLC pick. Everyone will buy him. At the same time, you have to assume whoever are DLC characters, if they're going to be imitating at least partly the NetherRealm philosophy and allowing you to copy the movesets of in-game characters in World Tour, I don't think they want Akuma missing out on World Tour necessarily.
Yeah. In the interview I read, which I don't know if I said everything that was in it, but in that it was asked if you could actually meet the playable characters in World Tour, and they just went, well, we can't say anything. So
Yeah.
So maybe.
I have to assume, there's no way they give you custom movesets, nor does your custom character have his own moveset. There's no way. So it's probably going to be like Mortal Kombat Deception, where it's just like, you absorb the knowledge of random Street Fighter legends you meet on the street,
Yeah.
I always remember a dialogue in Mortal Kombat Deception when you run into Melina, and she immediately jumps you. And it's actually launched the tutorial to Melina's moveset, and afterwards, Shujinko learns how to turn into Melina because that's how Deception worked, which was amusing. In order to move like Melina, you must become Melina, Shujinko. But either which way, I very distinctly remember after you completed the little Melina tutorial, Shujinko will go, "Ah, you were trying to teach me your hidden arts, Melina." And Melina just goes, "No, I was actually trying to kill you." Oh,
And then Shujinko goes, okay, and then leaves.
yeah, pretty well.
I mean, that's Deception's, like, the conquest modes set up. Fight guy, leave.
Yeah. Well, you're forgetting that you also punch every civilian you see on the way there just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And because some of them drop coins!
You need to kill all of the civilians to satiate the Kami dogs, bloodlust.
The one that always got me was the absurd hoops you had to get through to get Liu Kang. You had to be like exactly. It had to be a Sunday morning between 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. and it has to be every other week. Because you remember it had an in-game not day and night cycle and a week's cycle.
Yeah, I remember. And then once you're there on every other week, then you need to find the hidden the hidden like pickup shock, and you need to use Mew.
Something like that.
And then you unlock Liu Kang if you catch him in your Pokeball.
Quick, get Jiggy to unlock Liu Kang.
Yeah.
All right, I'm heading off, man.
All right.